What's up YouTube, Amy's Bro here, and we are going to be talking tonight about entertainment. Entertainment in the 21st century, especially in the 2000 teens, or tens, whichever way you want to look at it. And we're going to be discussing this only because I think in many respects the demise of some forms of media are strongly over-exaggerated to make you think that they're really dead. The three forms of media are the CD, the DVD or Blu-ray, and the video game. Now, anybody that has seen the evolution of the mediums that we're going to be discussing knows exactly how things were back in the day. If you remember, we didn't have MP3s or CDs at one point. We had, 45s, 8 tracks, and eventually we got to the CD. The CD's been around for, since probably the early 1980s, mid-1980s, at least in Japan. Didn't really start coming here until about the 1990s, so it's been about, 20 years or so, maybe? I don't know, Joe. Some of these things I don't look up. I'm going to admit that, but you get the idea. And it's always interesting to me to see the evolution of music through the decades. And I'm not just talking about the way what they're recorded on. I'm talking about the way the music scene has progressed over time, as far as the artists, their styles, and so forth. One thing you hear a lot about is, because of the way music is today, where most people get it on MP3s, that the CD ends up a distant memory to people. Right. That's why over in Japan they're still selling them and people are still buying them. This is also why that in Japan they also have different formats that they have used when they make the reissues of bands such as Genesis, Phil Collins, Cream, Supertramp, Rod Stewart, and you can go on down the line. So, is the format dated? Maybe our form of producing them is, but overseas they keep evolving it. Now, I don't know if they keep using the same format for their domestic releases, but for reissues, I do know that they've used different coatings or formats. They have this one called Platinum. It's like a platinum coating that goes on the bottom of the CD. So what ends up happening is you get the CD and you wouldn't see it, but they would do something to the bottom of it to make sure that it's a bit more resistant to scratches and dings and all that good stuff. There's actually a form of it that they had called the Blue Spec. I think that's something familiar to something kind of like a Blu-ray, if I'm not mistaken. I could be a little off on that, but I think that's what that's based around. So there's that one. And trust me, people try to bury the CD. Yes, you can still buy MP3s. But some of us, including myself, still prefer to have one of these in our hands. Matter of fact, I have one coming on, Monday. And it's actually one of these from season 2 of Utapre. Now, one of the other formats that people keep claiming is going to die soon is the DVD and the Blu-ray. Now, do you want to know why it's not? Listen to this one, kids. So, have you ever tried to go on Hulu? And have you ever tried to go on, say, Netflix at least in North America, and find a program that you wanted to watch. Now, don't get me wrong, you could probably find a show like, say, Supernatural, or you might be able to find something like Doctor Who, or Sherlock, or those programs. And you may be able to find some licensed animes, but mostly the Funimation ones, like Ouran High School Host Club, Brothers Conflict. Now, Attack on Titan's one of them. Actually, it's been one of them, and this just in, there's going to be at Anime Boston the announcement of the English cast for the series from Funny. So that'll be interesting. But a lot of people seem to believe that because of like Netflix and Hulu, television as we know it is going to cease to exist. I don't see that happening, not for a while. I'll give you the reason. When you look at the way television is, yes, it's for the most part a lot of garbage television. It is. What is it mostly? Reality shows and talk shows. It's not like it was in the 1970s and 1980s where you had about 3 stations and there was more variety. Hell, the wrestling shows have gotten repetitive, but that's another another video to itself. The thing of it is, let's say I go on, let me think for a second. Let's say I go on Hulu. Okay? I'm a guy who enjoys watching programs from other countries. Canada, UK, Japan, to name a few. Even occasionally Korea, so I'll watch Mnet or TVK. The thing of it is that cable companies do have it where you can watch TV stations from all over the world. The problem is most of them are actually subscription based. So yes, you would have to pay an extra fee, and considering the fact that you pay about, what is it, $200 a month? At least we do here. That's a bit criminal. It just is. I'm sorry. But I do think at some point what's going to happen is we're going to end up with a cable service where you're able to pretty much watch everything. It won't be a national television service anymore. It will be a global television service. So you'll be able to watch shows from any part of the world. So you'll be able to watch Australia, Japan, Korea, England, Zimbabwe, Chile. You name the country, you'll be able to find it. We're already close to that because there's apps called the Project, I believe it's called the Free TV Project or Project Free TV. It's one of the two. And there's also one called the Watch TV app or something, but it's by the same company. Anyway, and they have it right now where you're able to watch the free stations from different countries, and you're able to stream them through to your television. Right now, though, because of the way the stream is, the video quality might not be where you want it to be. Do you get what I'm saying? I think in a few years it will be like that and we won't have to worry about anything. But right now it's kind of kind of sketchy. The thing that's going to happen, like I said, it's going to become a global deal. It won't be just national anymore. And you'll be able to watch what you want. Until then, you're actually more limited than people want you to believe when it comes to, say, Hulu or Netflix. Okay? I had Netflix, no joke, for like 30 minutes. But I went looking on there, and I realized they didn't have the type of programming that I want. They didn't. Sorry. Yes, they had shows like Sherlock, Supernatural, Doctor Who, which are shows that I am interested in watching for sure. But I'm the type of guy, give me something different. Let me watch a J-drama. Let me watch the latest Japanese anime. Let me watch a K-drama. Now, granted, with I believe it's Crunchyroll, you can do that right now. You can watch different K-dramas, and you can watch all sorts of Japanese anime. Hell, you can even read mangas through the fucking website. But, and they're also subtitled, which is something you can't say for a lot of the Mnet or TVK programming. You can't. Sadly, for whatever reason, even though Comcast, an English-speaking cable company, airs the stations, they don't have subtitles for all those programs. Whereas NHK World does. They have it where any non-native English speaker, when they talk, you see the subtitles going across the screen. So you're able to follow the interviews with Japanese artists or politicians or whoever. Which is always a good thing. And I actually applaud it. I think we will be getting, like I said, and I'll repeat it again, to that point, probably, I say give it, once Google Fiber comes in, give it about 10 years, 5-10 years. It will happen within my lifetime, I think. I don't think we're going to see a death of television like some people want. That's just me. And here's the next one. The final one is the video game. Now, yes, we all know that there's going to be this service called PlayStation Now, and there's probably going to be different services for Microsoft if they actually want to stay within gaming. And Nintendo does like the Virtual Console with their system, so you can play different console games through the Wii or Wii U. And that's pretty awesome, don't you think? I do. But let's be realistic here. If you're going to tell me that PlayStation Now is going to be one of the big things, let's think about this, okay? This is a PlayStation 4 game. Now this, let's see if I can find the hard drive space on here. It takes 49 gigabytes. Okay? Think about that. Tell me what internet service, especially with bandwidth caps, are going to allow gamers to stream, we'll say, 5 PlayStation 3 games. Because here's the thing. Think about how big one of those games is. If you download, let's take the number 32, because I like that number. And then let's say you downloaded 10 of those 10 games of that size. That's 320 gigabytes. I'm sorry, your cable company's going to have a fit. There is no internet on the face of the planet yet. Maybe when Google Fiber comes in, but we'll see, that will allow you to not have a bandwidth cap. It's right now it's one of those things that I don't see, becoming the big thing. Oh sure, you can, there's what, Steam? Yeah, alright. How much do you think I use Steam? If I use it, it's from the Humble Bundle. Can I speak English today? But the reality of things is, I'm not interested in cloud gaming. Matter of fact, if you've seen one of my earlier videos, you know darn well I'm not that interested in gaming anymore. Oh yes, I do it, but I'm getting back to my original passions, Japanese anime and music. In many ways, it's like going back to the 1990s, but I wouldn't have it any other way. Can or will we see a period when the cloud completely takes over? Oh, sure. But I don't think the forecast is going to be as soon as you believe, or as people lead you to believe, because, again, bandwidth caps. Especially if the net neutrality thing goes through, where they can, make you pay some extraordinary amount. Yeah, that's really going to cripple downloading and streaming, don't you think? I do. I think what we're looking at in the very near future is pretty much more of the same. We're not going to have anything really different yet. You probably won't see a difference in your form of entertainment unless the only way you really see a difference in music right now, okay, is if you download MP3s from, say, iTunes or Amazon or Google Play. That's it. But most of us, like I said, are still people that want one of these in our hands. Most of us that do gaming still want to have one of these, and most of us that watch anime want these. And I could say anime or any form of television, to be honest, because as great as the internet is, yeah, but unless you pay a certain tier, you still have to worry about watching the ads. Okay, maybe in some cases they have the commercial free, but like take Hulu, okay? You sign up for Hulu, right? You still would have to watch an anime like Utapuri with the ads. Crunchyroll. They're a bitch. In their case, if you don't pay for the premium service, you can't watch that week's episode until the following week. So you can actually be a week behind everybody. Which I don't think is right. By the way, in case you're wondering, Funimation also pulls something like that. And even better, listen to this. What was the anime? Attack on Titan. If you didn't have the Elite Video service, you had to wait till I think it was 1 p.m. the following week to watch the show, while everybody else got to watch that week's episode at 11 a.m. So not only did you not get to watch it the same week, you don't even get to watch it at the same time. Anybody else find a problem with this? My point is, no matter what, there's going to be loopholes to these things. Are you going to be willing to pay the extra money to make sure that you don't have to watch ads? Because remember, most of these services, I don't know about Crunchyroll, but I know Hulu, you can't run an ad blocker. You're not allowed to do a fucking thing if you have an ad blocker running on that site, because they need the ads to generate the income. Do you understand? So what I'm saying is, anybody that thinks that the three basic forms of medium that we all use are going to die, not yet. You could say that television is for the most part dying. I'd say it's on life support. I don't know if it's dead yet. It's getting there, but I don't see it dying within the next 5 years. I want to see if cable companies start realizing that there are people that want to go outside of the box every so often. Because if they don't, that might cause a problem. But otherwise, who knows? What do you all think? Do you think that we're headed for the dreaded cloud earlier than expected? Or are you like me and thinking, you know what? We're still a ways off. Let me know what you all think. And I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.